What should have been a routine match result has suddenly turned into a controversy. Magdalena Fręch's loss didn't end at the handshake. It extended into a public call-out, questioning Alex Eala's on-court conduct. The phrase dirty play doesn't just challenge a single moment, it challenges intent, sportsmanship, and competitive ethics. Now, the conversation isn't about who won the match. It's about how it was won. First serve numbers told the early story. Fręch hovered around a mid-50% first serve rate, while Eala pushed closer to the mid-60 range, and that gap alone translated into shorter service games and fewer breakpoint exposures. Over the course of the match, Eala won a higher percentage of points behind her first delivery, which meant Fręch was constantly starting rallies on the defensive. That imbalance didn't just affect scoreboard pressure, it shaped tempo, forcing Fręch into longer baseline exchanges where unforced errors began to creep in. Momentum shifted sharply in the middle phase, particularly during a stretch where rally length increased and point construction slowed. Fręch's average rally tolerance dropped, with several exchanges ending in rushed forehands or mistimed backhands. Eala, by contrast, extended rallies deliberately, often pushing beyond 6 to 8 shots, drawing errors rather than going for outright winners. That tactical patience is statistically consistent with her recent matches, where her breakpoint conversion improves as rallies lengthen. The flashpoint, the moment that triggered the dirty play accusation, came during one of these extended sequences. A pause between points, perceived delays in rhythm, and a disruption in match flow became the focal point. Whether it was a legitimate reset or a calculated interruption depends on interpretation, but the timing was critical. It came just as Fręch was attempting to build momentum, having held serve under pressure in the previous game. From a numbers perspective, the immediate consequence was clear. Following that interruption, Fręch's first serve percentage dipped further, and her next service game saw a spike in second serve points faced. Eala capitalized, increasing return depth and forcing shorter replies. Within a span of 2 games, the match swung decisively, with Eala converting a break and consolidating it efficiently. Engagement patterns around the match reflected that turning point. Clips of the disputed moment circulated rapidly, and compared to standard match highlights, those segments generated significantly higher interaction. Matches that include controversy tend to outperform routine results in visibility metrics, and this one followed that pattern. Discussion volume surged, particularly around that single sequence rather than the overall performance. The headline then isn't just that Eala won. It's that a match defined by marginal statistical advantages, serve efficiency, rally tolerance, breakpoint execution, became overshadowed by a moment that reframed the entire narrative. Instead of a clean tactical win, the conversation shifted to whether competitive strategy crossed into perceived gamesmanship, and that shift happened almost instantly once the match ended. Ranking movement alone makes this moment significant. Matches at this tier often carry 20 to 70 points depending on the round, and for players operating around the middle band of the tour, that swing can decide entry into main draws versus qualifying. A win here doesn't just improve Eala's position incrementally, it stabilizes her scheduling, reduces travel strain from extra qualifying rounds, and increases exposure in higher visibility matches. On the other side, a loss for Fręch in this context isn't just a missed result. It tightens the margin, especially if recent weeks haven't produced deep runs. Performance trends also amplify the importance. Eala's recent matches show a gradual uptick in breakpoint conversion, often climbing into the mid-40% range when rallies extend beyond 5 shots. That aligns with what played out here. Longer exchanges favored her, and once momentum tilted, she converted efficiently. Fręch, meanwhile, has typically relied on controlling points earlier in rallies, and when forced into extended baseline play, her unforced error count tends to rise. That stylistic clash is not new, but in this match, it became decisive at the exact moment tension peaked. Fan engagement patterns further explain why this matters now. Matches tied to controversy consistently generate higher interaction than routine straight-set wins. In similar WTA moments, social media mentions can jump by 40 to 60% within hours, and highlight clips featuring disputes often outperform standard rally highlights. Early indicators suggest this match is following that trajectory, with conversation driven less by scoreline and more by the perceived disruption. That shift matters because visibility in today's tour isn't just tied to wins, it's tied to narrative traction. There's also a broader timing factor tied to the season. With multiple high-profile tournaments approaching, players are building rhythm, confidence, and media presence. A moment like this, whether interpreted as gamesmanship or miscommunication, can influence how opponents approach future matches. If Fręch believes rhythm disruptions played a role, that perception carries forward. If Eala's approach is seen as tactically effective within the rules, it becomes part of her competitive identity. From a tour-level perspective, these moments contribute to ongoing conversations about pacing, between-point routines, and enforcement consistency. The WTA has seen periodic debates around medical timeouts, serve clocks, and tempo management. Each incident, especially when it involves rising players, adds another reference point. Even without formal review, perception alone can shape expectations for officiating and player conduct. Ultimately, this isn't just about one result or one comment. It matters because it intersects performance data, ranking consequences, fan engagement, and evolving standards of competition. When a match outcome aligns with a controversy, it stops being isolated. It becomes part of a larger pattern that influences how the sport is watched, discussed, and judged in real time. Similar moments have surfaced across the WTA over the past decade, where matches shifted from pure performance debates into discussions about rhythm control and gamesmanship. In previous cases involving medical timeouts or extended breaks, match flow disruptions often coincided with momentum swings, and the data tends to show a measurable impact. Players coming off an interruption frequently see first serve percentages drop by 5 to 10 points in the immediate game, while returners gain a slight edge in depth and aggression. That pattern mirrors what unfolded here, where Fręch's serving rhythm dipped right after the contested moment, while Eala capitalized on the reset. Contrast that with players known for maintaining strict tempo consistency. Athletes who keep between-point routines under 15 seconds tend to sustain higher rally efficiency and lower unforced error counts, especially in high-pressure phases. Fręch's baseline style, which relies on rhythm and early control, fits more closely with that group. When that rhythm is disrupted, even legally within the rules, the statistical outcome often leans against her strengths. Eala, on the other hand, has shown flexibility in pace, adjusting rally length and timing depending on match context. That adaptability becomes a competitive advantage in matches where tempo fluctuates. Looking historically, disputes around fair play rarely hinge on clear rule violations. They emerge from gray areas. Past examples on tour show that even when no penalties are issued, perception can define the narrative. Players who faced similar accusations often saw short-term spikes in attention, with match clips generating significantly higher engagement than standard highlights. However, over time, performance consistency tends to outweigh those moments. Athletes who back up results with stable stats, serve efficiency above 60%, breakpoint conversion near 40%, shift the conversation back to performance rather than controversy. There's also a generational contrast. Emerging players like Eala often bring a more flexible, situational approach to pacing, shaped by modern coaching strategies that emphasize point-by-point resets and mental recovery. More established players or those with traditional rhythm-based games may interpret those resets differently, especially when they occur at critical junctures. That difference in approach doesn't automatically imply unfair play, but it does create friction when expectations about match flow don't align. Fan response patterns highlight another contrast. Matches involving established top-tier players typically generate debate around performance metrics, winners, errors, serve percentages, while matches involving rising players and unexpected controversies shift focus toward behavior and intent. Engagement data from similar past incidents shows that discussion volume can increase by up to 50% when a dispute is involved, but the longevity of that attention depends on follow-up results. If the player accused continues to win, the narrative gradually reframes as competitive edge rather than questionable conduct. Social engagement around this match didn't grow because of the scoreline. It grew because of the moment. In comparable WTA situations, clips tied to controversy often generate 50 to 70% more interaction than standard highlights. Short video segments of the disputed pause circulated faster than full rally compilations, and discussion threads focused less on point construction and more on intent. That shift matters because it changes how the match is remembered. Instead of being defined by serve efficiency or rally tolerance, it becomes defined by a single interpretive moment. From a rules standpoint, the line between tactical reset and gamesmanship has always been narrow. The WTA enforces time limits between points, medical timeout regulations, and code violations, but within those frameworks there's still flexibility. Players can take extra seconds to compose themselves, adjust equipment, or slow the pace within legal boundaries. Historically, enforcement has been consistent on paper, but variable in perception, which is why these debates continue to surface. Commercial considerations add another layer. Players at this stage of their careers are building endorsement portfolios, and brand alignment often depends on public image as much as performance. Controversy can increase visibility. Social media follower counts can spike by 10 to 20% after high-profile disputes, but it also introduces risk. Sponsors tend to favor narratives built around resilience and competitive excellence rather than conflict. For a rising player like Eala, increased attention can translate into broader recognition, but sustained partnerships usually depend on how that attention stabilizes over time. Audience behavior also plays a role in shaping the narrative. Modern tennis consumption is fragmented across platforms, with highlights, analysis clips, and reaction content driving engagement more than full match viewership. When a match includes a contentious moment, those segments often outperform traditional coverage metrics. That pattern reinforces a feedback loop. The more a moment is shared, the more it defines the match, regardless of the broader statistical context. There's also a psychological dimension that numbers only partially capture. Players who feel their rhythm has been disrupted often experience immediate performance dips, serve percentages fall, decision-making speeds up, and error rates increase. That aligns with what happened here, where Fręch's serving efficiency dropped right after the disputed sequence, suggesting that the impact was as much mental as tactical. Ranking pressure will be the first measurable outcome going forward. A win in this range typically adds enough points to move a player several spots up, which can be the difference between direct main draw entry and playing qualifiers. For Eala, stacking results like this builds a buffer that reduces early round risk in upcoming events. For Fręch, the missed points tighten margins, especially if similar losses accumulate. Match preparation will likely adjust on both sides. Opponents studying Eala will note her ability to extend rallies and vary tempo, particularly in pressure moments. Fręch's camp, meanwhile, may focus on stabilizing serve consistency under disruption, as drops in first serve accuracy after interruptions can directly lead to break opportunities. Perception will shape the next phase as much as performance. Players labeled around gamesmanship often face closer scrutiny from both opponents and officials in subsequent matches. For Eala, sustaining results with clean, high-efficiency metrics would gradually shift the narrative back toward performance rather than controversy. This wasn't just about a loss or a post-match comment. It became a question of where competitive strategy ends and perceived unfair play begins. Fręch's reaction highlights how quickly a player's rhythm can be disrupted, while Eala's performance shows how effectively momentum can be seized within the rules. The match itself was decided by small statistical margins, but the conversation that followed expanded far beyond those numbers.
Perception now sits at the center of the story.
One moment, one pause, one interpretation, that's all it takes to reshape how a result is viewed. Tennis has always operated in that gray space, where intent is rarely provable but always debated. What defines fairness isn't just the rulebook, it's how players, officials, and fans interpret actions in real time. The key takeaway is simple but complex. Performance wins matches, but narrative defines memory. If results continue to back up the numbers, this moment will fade into context. If not, it becomes a reference point every time these players step on court again.